YouTube, Rook here from Rook Geek Goodness, my little channel on the web for all things geeky and cool. In this video, guys, is another video review and giveaway sponsored by Entertainment Earth. That's right, guys, Entertainment Earth is a website you can go to for any of your geeky and collectible needs, be it action figures, Funko products like you see before you right here, statues or more. Head over to Entertainment Earth for all your geeky and collectible needs. Now, anything you see showcased in this video will be linked in the description box below. Click on those links if you like what you see here. It will help my channel immensely and it will help Entertainment Earth as well. So the giveaway we'll talk about near the end of this particular video. I want to talk about the video review first. So what did Entertainment Earth give me for this video review? Count it, five Funko Pops to do a full video review for and giveaway. I want to give this stuff out to you guys right here. So we're talking Lord of the Rings, one of the great trilogies that happened several years, actually a little while ago, but it's a little older now, come to think of it. About 9 hours of your life would be wasted watching all 3 movies of Lord of the Rings. So let's actually get into all these Funko Pops. Again, we have 5 Pops for Lord of the Rings. So I'll go down one by one. I'll probably go good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy, just switch between those two. First, let's take a look at this guy right here, Pop number 630, which is Boromir, one of the main heroes, part of the Fellowship. Came to a tragic end rather at the end of the movie. If you don't know, if you've never seen it, I do apologize for spoilers. Again, this is Boromir. He's more of a human-esque character. Let's actually get into him. Here's the back of the packaging. Of course, there'll be up-close shots of everything in the light box, so you can take a look at everything that you see before you there. So Boromir looks really good. Again, he's Pop number 630. Looks really nice. One thing I do like when Funko's been doing fantasy characters, they do really intricate armor. I love how fantasy characters look. Stuff like out of Skyrim, World of Warcraft. The newer the Pops, the better the sculpts, more intricate the designs of coming, and Boromir does not take away from any of that at all. It looks really good. Wearing more like, say, leather armor, but you can see the rivets and the chainmail underneath. He looks really, really cool. He does have, of course, the Horn of Gondor. He does have articulation. Head will spin 360 with no hindrance. The hair is a little bit long. He does have a nice little sword there. He looks really good. The cape is really cool because it has like muddy grit on the bottom. I didn't even notice that until I turned this figure around. It looks really good. Awesome figure for Boromir, Pop number 630. Now, there are some issues with a few of these Pops standing. I did notice that when I was playing around with them earlier before shooting. I wish you could put a figure stand with these Pops, but none of these Pops have any figure stands, just so you know that now. Next, take a look at Pop number 633, the Dunharrow King. Now, if I remember correctly, the Dunharrow King was one of the ghosts that happened in the Return of the King movie, if I remember correctly. He was one of the ghosts that the main characters, Legolas, Aragorn, and Gimli, which are 2 characters here. We have Legolas and Gimli over here, made a deal with. I believe this is the main guy that made the deal with, if I remember correctly here, but he looks really, really cool. Now, one thing I talked about on my stream for this figure, which again, this is number 633, he has a feel like the Disney Haunted Mansion Pops, because he's translucent through the entire Pop because he's a ghost. So I do love what they did here with this figure. It looks really, really cool. They did a lot of detail with this Pop, guys. So he's really cool looking. They did a lot of tooling with this guy. I'm very, very surprised they went in depth with this guy. He even has armor as well near the bottom of the Pop. He looks really, really cool. Articulation does get hindered a bit here because of his beard. So you only get about that level of articulation. I mean, I could probably force it, but I don't want to break it. But he does have translucent material through his hair, through his face. He does have a nice looking sword. His hands are translucent. And one thing that's really cool they did with this particular Pop, he has dark color. I don't know if you can really see that. Dark color on his chest and his, like, I guess you would call it a robe, but it fades to like a clear material. I like that transition. It looks really cool. His crown, very intricate as well. As I mentioned, Funko's been getting much more ornate when it comes to things like armor. Very cool Pop number 633, the Dunharrow King. Now, he might have a difficulty standing. As I mentioned, there's no figure stand, it's just a normal base for that guy. Next, let's move to another hero character. We'll look to Gimli. Gimli looks really cool. Pop number 629. He's a bit more of the shorter stature Pop because he's a dwarf. He's supposed to look short. He looks really, really good, though. Let's actually get into him. I do like dwarf characters. I'm more of an elf guy, though, in my personal opinion. So again, they've been doing very, very good work when it comes to armor. This is very ornate-looking armor, especially on his helmet. His helmet is very decorated with a lot of embroidery and ornate materials on the top here, as you can see. Looks very, very cool. He's got his beard and a ponytail going across his back there. Looks very, very neat. His articulation rather hindered only because of the beard. You only get about that amount of movement here and about that amount of movement here unless you try forcing it. Again, I'm not going to force it. I don't want to break anything. But he's wielding double axes. Very cool design. I like how he looks. There, you can even see the intricate portions of the armor on the arms right here. It's sort of like the chainmail material. The leather hanging down from the bottom of the skirt. Looks really, really cool. I love how Funko has been doing this now when it comes to armor, as I mentioned before. Next, let's take a look at another hero character, because I'm saving this guy for last. My favorite character, of course, is Legolas. I love the elf characters. Legolas does not disappoint. This is pop number 628. This is a second version of Legolas. This is not the traditional Legolas that came out years ago. This is a different pose he's in. And there is a problem, I say, with this pose, because he's very, very thin. He has a very thin body, and he's in a weird stance, which I was having issues, if you might notice, in the light box when I tried posing him. I had to kind of turn him a certain way just to make him stand right, because his stance is really weird. His feet are in a weird position. I did notice that. And again, no figure stand. I wish he would have had a figure stand just because he's in a weird pose. He does look cool, though, pulling back his bow. I do like the way that looks. Articulation, head will spin about that far this way and about that far that way, unless you try to turn it more. You can go all the way around about that far, but again, I don't want to ruin the vinyl material, especially this is being a giveaway and all. So he looks really good. I like his cloak is dangling down behind him right there. He has more of a woodland look because he's an elf. He's supposed to have a woodland feel. His hair is braided across his back, going down his head rather. I do like the way that looks there, and it's tied with a little brown material right there. It looks good. He's drawing an arrow back knocked in his bow. Cool looking design. Love the way this guy looks. And again, he might have difficulty standing. Luckily, I have my cover here on my table, so he's standing pretty well. Last but not least, we'll take a look at probably the best figure in this lot. The only figure that's not included is the Galadriel pop here. All the other ones are listed in this wave that I'm giving to you guys, but the Witch King looks amazing. This is a horrifying looking pop. They did a lot of tooling with this guy, which you really wouldn't think because he's wearing more of a billowy cloak robe, but they did a lot with this guy. And one thing I wanted you guys to take notice for is the inside piece here, the inside insert into the pop, only because normally I don't talk about it, but I want to show it to you so you can see. They have this huge spike right here to warrant the pop itself, because there's a massive spike on top of his crown, and you'll see it right here. So I like how Funko paid attention to this to make this big spike here, and even the insert has that to take into account, so I like that. He has his flaming sword. Now, if I remember correctly, the Witch King was the guy who stabbed Frodo on top of the mountain they were at. I remember correctly, but I haven't seen Lord of the Rings in a long time, but I believe that's who it was. His head will spin 360. You might have a little bit of hindrance or issue getting over his hand because his bottom piece here gets in the way, but he looks so detailed for just a character wearing a robe. That's what I'm getting at. Funko has done such a great deal of tooling and design. You can see textures. I love how it looks. All the spikes. You'd think it wouldn't be as detailed. There's a lot of hefty material in this figure, and even the sword is on fire. So I do like the way it looks. He has his clawed hand right there. So he looks extremely menacing, and that's what I'm getting at. So I think all of these pops are really cool. Again, no figure stands for any of them. I think they look really, really good. I'll kind of move them over a little bit, so I'll kind of spread them out a bit more so you can see them a little more on the table, kind of spread out further. So you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. So that's all 5 pops presented for you. Again, big shout outs and thanks to Entertainment Earth. All right, guys, giveaway time. That's what you stuck around for. And to the end of the video, you want to get this great 5-piece Funko Lord of the Rings prize pack for yourself. So how do you get this? How do you get these 5 guys here into your collection? Very, very easy. First and foremost, to participate in this giveaway, it's free to enter. It doesn't cost you a dime. The only thing that's required, you have to be a U.S. resident. If you're not a U.S. resident, you can't participate in this giveaway. It will begin today, January 23rd, and run for approximately 3 weeks, which will be until February 12th. I'll do the drawing the following day, which will be February 13th. If you click the description box of this video, you see a link that says giveaway link. If you click that link, it'll bring you to a website called Gleam.io, which houses all my giveaway information. You'll see a bunch of ways you can get involved in the giveaway, a bunch of entry points. If you subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, those are 4 entry ways right there. If you, of course, follow Entertainment Earth on Facebook and on Twitter, that's 2 more entries as well. If you do all 6 of those things, you get 3 bonus entries for a total of 9 entries into this great prize pack giveaway, again sponsored by Entertainment Earth. I want to give this stuff out to you guys. I really want to help the community. I love giving back. I love giving stuff out for free. I love it and enjoy it, but I want to give it to you guys. Just remember to click that like button, always subscribe to the channel. If you see anything you see here, click those links in the description box. And again, big shout out to Entertainment Earth. Thank you guys. Take care, and bye-bye.